Okay, so we're using the ball, not the roller. So just pop that on the side and we'll come to that in a minute. Okay, and why we're using the ball is because we can open up this way as well as this way on the ball, whereas the roller, we just open that way. Okay, so sitting on your mat, just rub those legs and just reaching yourself forward onto those seat bone, the front bottom, stretching through those hamstrings, stretching the back of the legs, pushing the head over those toes and lengthening the body. And then sit up nice and tall, push those knees in the floor, roll those shoulders up to the ears. Now with you, just pull those shoulders back and push the chest forward. So rather than really pulling down, pull backwards. So we're trying to take our breastbone, our ribs off our breastbone. We're trying to pull round and open and squeeze those shoulders together behind us. And then loosen that neck, turn that head left, turn that head right. So my neck is very noisy, it's very grindy, partly because it's very arthritic, because I've done lots of sailing, holding my head up. But don't worry about the grindy thing. That's just sort of rusty bones. But we want just the muscles to feel soft. So bring those eyes to the center, and now bring that chin down into the chest, and we stretch the back of the neck, but we're still squeezing those shoulders together. So pull the front of your shoulders around to the back. Now turn the eyes to the left side of the left leg, pulling that right ear from that right shoulder. And then turn those eyes to the right side of the right leg, pushing that left ear from that left shoulder. Bring those eyes back to the center. Bring that chin up and then lift that chest and bring that head up, resting the sort of skull on the back of the muscle of the back of the shoulders, so we've got them pulled back. Breathing in, bring those eyes up to the center. Take those hands off the floor and then bend the knees and pull yourself forwards onto your front bottom again, and just let yourself gently round forward. So I can rest my elbows on the floor if I can. So pull forward onto your front bottom more. And then push your waistband backwards and lift your boobs up. So you're not bending so much through that chest, you're bending more through your lower back. And then come back to sitting up vertically. Put that right hand on that left knee, left hand behind, push off that left hand, push off that right hand and turn the body round to the left. Breathing in, lifting and turning, breathing out. And then come back round to the center and put the left hand on the right knee, right hand behind, and turn and look the other way. Lifting, turning, breathing in, breathing out. And then come back round to center. And then slide those hands forward towards those feet, pulling yourself onto your front bottom again. Pulling right forward, rounding through that lower back and lengthening through that upper back. So if you look at me at the minute, I'm stretching here and I'm more straight up here, up in this whereas you are more vertical here and you're very bent there like that. Okay, so I want you to open up and then go forward. So go forward from here, from the hip. Yeah, that's it. So hold those legs and pull the tummy onto the thighs more and lift that head up. Yeah. Try and pull forward, pull your tummy onto your thighs more. That's it. And so you feel the stretch through here, but definitely down through the bottom, through the underneath of the legs, lengthening. So now if you move your head, your neck should feel freer. Whereas if you come more vertically with your lower back and more rounded here, that feels quite straining for my neck. It's having to hold it. Okay, sit yourself up nice and tall. Now grab that ball in, pop it on the mat. Bend your knees up. And we're going to lower down onto your elbows. So the ball, hold onto the ball so it doesn't run away. And trap it on those lower ribs. Okay, now when you're here, don't let those shoulders round forwards like that. Open that chest like this. So there's a tendency to hang here, hanging here. So my shoulders protruding in front of my torso. That's my shoulder. I want to pull it back So this is pushing up. So the ball is helping with that. So if we're resting, hang on, can you get your elbows wider of your body? So you've got your arms like that. Get your elbows behind you more. Yeah, now pull those shoulders back. Yeah, and then let your arms slide out sideways. So now I'm resting on that ball. That's quite heavy on my neck. So I'm going to take hold of my head in my hands. Yeah, so let those shoulders here fall towards the floor. Let the ball push you up. So breathing in, on the out breath, we lower down to the floor with that head. So that's pushing my body to the sky and gravity's pulling my shoulders down to the floor. So for you, this is a better way of stretching in a way than the roller, which pushes the shoulders up because it stays in a straight line. So pull those shoulders to the floor, let that head come down. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Now take the head in the hands and lift it up. Right, now we're going to move the roller up a little bit so it's between my shoulder blades more. Breathe in, breathe out, let that head come down to the floor. Let those shoulders fall to the floor. Take your arms out like a scarecrow, push those arms away. Big breath in, big breath out. So as we breathe in, flare those ribs. Stretching. Now bring those hands back in, take hold of the head, lift it and move the roller up a bit, the ball up a bit higher. Rest that head on the floor again. Let those arms, those shoulders pull down. Take those hands flat on the floor, back to the hands, palms up. Reach those hands away from each other. And just feel that ball pushing the chest up, letting those arms pull down. Okay, bring those hands back in and just hold your fingers. So I'm having my elbows on the floor and my fingertips are just the back of my head. So I'm just going to take a bit of pressure of my head and I'm just going to push the body over the ball so it comes down to those bottom ribs just above my waist. So I'm dragging on the floor and then I'm going to drag the other way. So it's a bit harder to move on the ball because there's more friction. So get the ball up towards your neck and then use your feet and just push. And it's not rolling, it's like jelly, it's just kind of flattened. So I'm just going to move it down towards those bottom ribs, keeping those arms, those elbows wide. So interestingly, as I do this, it's giving my sinuses, it's making them work. So I'm going to use I have to get my elbows down towards my waist to help these come back up. But I get the action when it's at the neck so get it at the base of your neck, bum low. And then just push over that ball. I have to hold my t-shirt out of the way. And let it come down. Or just sit it in that bra strap area. And then rock onto the right buttock, rock onto the left buttock. Rock onto the right buttock, rock onto the left buttock. So feel that lower back getting some stretch. I've got my hands behind my head, elbows are on the floor. Rock those knees all the way down to the left. So my right knee is not on the floor, the left one's on the floor. Feet are hip distance apart. Bring those knees up to the sky. Rock them over to the right. Right leg's on the knees on the floor. Left knee is dropped down, not quite on the ground. Oh, my dog's having a sneezing fit. Bring that left knee back up, bring both knees up. Put your feet closer together, drop both knees over and let that right knee stack on the left knee. Keep those eyes up, keep those shoulders down. So keep that right shoulder to the floor. Bring those knees up, drop those knees the other way. Keep that left shoulder to the floor. Sure, Bobby Boo. Yeah. Bring those knees up, drop them over to the left one more time. Make sure that right knee drops onto the left knee. Pull that right shoulder to the floor. Stretching. And then bring those knees up and then drop them over to the floor on the right. Keep that left knee down, keep that left shoulder down. Breathing in, breathing out. Bring those knees back up. So have those knees up. Move the ball up a little bit closer to your shoulders. Keep your head on the ground. So it's only a little bit just up above my bra strap area. So I'm going to have those shoulders still pulling down. So put your fingertips on your breastbone. Draw your hands along towards the shoulders and feel that's open. Don't let those shoulders round up. So there mustn't be like a soap dish under your shoulder there. You've got to be open. So turn the palms up, put the arms in the pitchfork position. Palms are up, elbows on the floor. Lift your head and turn your head to the right. So we've got the right ear coming to the floor, right nostril, breathing in, breathing out. So these exercises that we do that you find work, we can replicate and do again. Oh, my dog has got her nose jammed on the floor, so there it is. Push that right nostril down to the floor. Bring that head over. Stretching, keep those shoulders down towards the floor. Keep that ball just relaxing, pushing that chest up. So just be gentle with this because we've got different wear and tear on our spine. Right, now roll that head back to the center so the left ear comes towards the left shoulder, and then pick the head up and push it back in the center, and then lift the head over to the right, and then roll the head over. So we use gravity, we use the floor to support the head, so we're not turning it radically in air. So keep those elbows on the ground, keep those shoulders pulling to the floor, and then pull that left nostril to the ground. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. And then roll that head back and then lift it and put it straight. Now roll that ball back down towards the waist. Roll onto the right hand side and just get the ball out from underneath you and lie back on the floor. Now you'll feel super flat. Put those hands back in that pitchfork position. Give yourself some space on your mat. So we've got our shoulders flat on, they should be really super flat on the floor. Ribs are super easy to get on the ground. The back of the neck feels like it's not far from the ground. Draw in the core, now flatten that lower back and now arch it. So now we've got a lot more movement in that pelvis, flatten, arch, because we're not stiff in that thoracic spine. So we could just go straight for doing some core exercises and stabilize that neutral spine, lift the legs off the ground, or we could give the hips a quick stretch. So let's lift that right knee up off the ground, bring those arms up, take hold of the right knee, try and keep the shoulders on the floor if you can. Lengthen that left leg straight. Now pull that right knee in towards your tummy. So this is the area that you are tight when you come to lean forwards. Now, if you can get your thigh on your hip, it's not a matter of flexion of the hip that's restricting you from leaning forwards when we do the seated thing. If you take that leg straight up in the air, but you can't straighten it because it's tight here, then it's the hamstrings that are restricting you because we've got this flexion going on, and now we're trying to straighten the leg. But if we can't straighten it, that's when we lean forward with the leg straight. We have to bend the knee. So I can have my leg straighter than you, but you've got it pretty, that's pretty good. So I think it's more body position of your lean forward and habit rather than actual tension, because you're able to have this leg straightish, like I've got a small bend and I've got the thigh here almost touching my rib cage. So pulling that leg towards, now do circles with that foot rather, and then circles with that foot the other way, and then point the toe and then flex, point, flex, and then release that calf, and then pull that knee over the body. Let that back lift up, keep those shoulders on the floor. So my right hand, I'm going to take the back of the hand to the floor. So it makes me keep that shoulder down. So that means my knee can't actually get to the floor as easily. Breathing in, breathing out, releasing through that lower back. So I'm trapping those shoulders on the floor. I'm trapping those upper ribs. So now I'm going to try and turn through my breastbone. So I feel tension through my shoulder, through the back of the shoulder, pulling that knee down. Yeah, got it to the floor. Breathing, keep the back of that hand to the ground. And then release that right shoulder and roll onto the left and take hold of this right leg. Let that left leg drift forward. Push that right foot into the hand and stretch through the front of the body. Pushing the foot in the hand, lengthening. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And then let it come in. And then push that foot away. And then let it come in. And then push that foot away. And then let it come in. And then roll back onto the back. And then focus on those shoulders being flat on the ground again. Pull that knee in, keeping those shoulders down. Spreading the groin, pulling the right knee from the left knee. Turn that right leg, bring that left leg in. Put the right foot on the left knee and then just push that right leg away. Stretch through that glute. Breathing in. Breathing out. And then put the left foot on the floor, put the right foot on the floor and lengthen it away. So now feel how much flatter that leg is. Get those shoulders back on the ground. Let those hands, the backs of the hands come to the floor in that pitchfork position. Realign. Just get those bottom ribs down, lengthen through the spine, back of the neck, and bring that left knee in. So if I move my jaw around, it starts to get a bit looser as my neck relaxes. The tension goes, pulling that left knee up, pushing that right leg away. Take hold of that left knee, sorry, in that right hand. And I'm going to put that leg up straight. So holding that thigh right on my tummy and my ribs. Push that left leg straight up in the air, as straight as I can, keeping my tailbone down. Don't let the lower back round. Keep those shoulders as flat as you can. Circles with that left foot one way. Circles with that left foot the other way. Point the toe. Flex. Point. Flex. Release that knee, calf. Pull that knee in. So if I've got my thigh on my ribs here, so I've got good flexion of that hip. Now I'm going to pull that leg. Actually, first of all, I'm going to take the left hand, so the back of the hands to the floor in that pitchfork position, and then bring that left knee all the way over the body, hooking the left foot on the right leg, breathing in, breathing out, pulling that right knee to the floor, turning through the torso, breathing in. Breathing out, keep that right hand on the ground, keeps that right shoulder on the ground. Stretch through those ribs. Use the breath, breathe in, breathe out. So breathing in spreads the ribs from each other. It's hard. But then when you breathe out, you've got more release. Loosen that jaw. Rest yourself here. And then roll back onto the back. Bring that knee up and up towards the chest again. Turn that foot, bring the other leg in. Hold on to the knee. Oh, I didn't do the quad, we'll do that in a sec. Pull that knee in. So pull the right knee in, pushing the left knee away, stretching the glute, breathing in. Breathing out, move that jaw. Does it feel looser? Let that right leg go out straight. Put that left hand, back of the hand to the floor again in that pitchfork position. Pull that left knee over the body again. Sometimes I lift my bum up so I keep the torso straight, breathing in. Breathing out. Pull that knee to the floor. Use your breath to stretch through those ribs. And then roll over onto that right hand side. Let that left shoulder come up. Take hold of that left foot in the left hand. Let the right foot go forward. And then push that left foot away. Lengthen through the front of the body. Breathing in. Breathing out. Push that foot away. Breathing in. Breathing out. Let the foot come into the bum. Push the foot away. Let the foot come in. Push the foot away. Let the foot come in. Push the foot away. Let the foot come in. Release it. Roll back onto the back. So have those knees bent. Pull those shoulders into the ground. Imagine you've got the ball under you again. Get those ribs flat on the floor. Loosen that head. Just rock it side to side gently. Put those arms in that pitchfork position, back to the hands to the floor. So we could stretch the chest by rolling onto the tummy, but we're just going to stay like this for a minute. I'm going to draw that core in neutral. Lift that right leg up off the floor. Take that right leg out straight. Bring that right leg in. Put it back down. Bring that left leg up off the floor. Take that left leg out straight. Bring that leg back in. Put it back down. Bring that right leg up off the floor. Bring the left leg up too. Take that right leg out straight. Bring it back in. Take that left leg out straight. Feel the load increase on the torso. Bring it back in. Take both feet to the floor. Lift both feet up. Are your ribs still on the ground? Realign. Make sure those ribs are down. Make sure that chest is open. Make sure that lower back's slightly lifted. Keep the backs of the hands to the floor. Lower those feet down. Lift those feet up. Acknowledge what's going on. Lower those feet down. Slide those legs out straight. Bring those hands up to the sky, elbows on the floor. Take the backs of the hands to the ground. Lift those hands up. Take those hands down. Bring those hands up. Now take the palms to the floor, keeping those shoulders where they are. You're not going to get them to the ground. Just go as far as you can. Bring them back up. Take them away down towards the floor. Bring them back up. Keep those shoulders in place. Take those palms towards the floor. Bring them back up. Take those palms towards the floor. Now, the muscles in my behind my shoulder blade that get tense are being activated. So I do not stabilize my shoulder when my hand goes in that position. I let my shoulder lift up. So if you let your shoulder lift up and forward, your hand can go all the way down to the ground, but your shoulder's lifted up. And the tension in that back, in those shoulder blades goes away, but it comes into my neck. So bring those palms up to the sky. Pull those shoulders into the ground again so the shoulder blade is flat. Take those hands forward, keeping those shoulders flat. Take those hands up. So the issue with the shoulders and neck is often how much rotation you've got of this arm. So you've got to keep that rotation fluid, taking the backs and the hands to the floor, bringing the hands up and over the other way. Keep that movement fluid without letting the shoulder jump around all over the place. Okay, relax your shoulders and roll over onto your tummy. Pop those hands in the pitchfork position, put the forehead on the ground. We are going to stretch the chest. Put the left hand on the floor, palm down, elbow up. Bring up that left knee, roll onto that right hand side, let that right arm slide away. Lift into the stretch of the chest. So breathing in, breathing out. Push that right arm into the ground. Pushing that arm into the ground. Creating tension in those muscles in the front. Breathing in, breathing out. Release that arm, the tension, and lift higher with the left arm. Lifting the left side of the body a bit higher. Push that right arm into the floor. Breathing in. So we want to push it for about 10 seconds. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Release the push. Lift higher. Feel the stretch change. Feel it increase. Okay, release. We're just going to do that twice. You could do that 3 or 4 times. Forehead on the ground, lift that right arm up, let the left arm drift away, eyes right, bring that right knee up, let that left arm drift out. Lift the side of the body till you feel the stretch in that left shoulder. Push that left arm into the floor, breathing in, breathing out. Push that left arm into the floor. Breathing in, breathing out. Release the push, lift the body higher off the ground. Push that left arm into the floor. Breathing in, breathing out. Keep pushing it into the floor. Breathing in, breathing out. Release the push, lift the body higher. Stretching through the chest. And then release the body down. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Have the forehead on the ground. Clench the bum, lengthen the legs, draw in the core. Push the toes away from the top of the head. Lift those hands and forearms up. Lower. Hands and forearms up. Now lift the whole arm up, pulling from the shoulders, round and up. Lifting those shoulders up and backwards. The hands just go with them, pulsing for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that's the same action that we do every morning, but what we're focusing on is pulling the shoulders towards each other behind the body rather than lifting the hands up. So pull those shoulders round for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring those hands around. Now take hold of the palms behind your bum, but your shoulders drop forward if you're not careful. So roll those shoulders up to the ears, pull them to the sky, lift those hands up. Pulling the shoulders around the body. Don't let the shoulders drop down. Draw in the tummy. Pulse those arms up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let the hands rest on the bum. Release those hands back into that pitfall, that next to the body. Roll yourself back onto your back. So we've only done a tiny amount of opening and engaging. But lying back on your back here, feel those shoulders flat on the floor. Push the back of the head in the ground. Get all those ribs on the ground. Pull the back of the neck down. Have those feet, knees up, knees bent, feet flat. Bring those arms, elbows up so with your hands in the air, like we were doing before. Let those hands, the backs of the hands drop down to the floor. Feel how much easier those go to the floor, keeping those shoulder blades in place. Take those hands to the sky. Let those hands go down towards the floor the other way. Feel how less tension there is in those shoulders for the same distance down. If you go a bit further, might get the tension back. Move those hands up. Bring those hands down. Bring those hands up. Bring those hands down. Move that jaw. Have the hands vertically. Move the jaw. Open it. Move it side to side. Does it feel looser? Is it less crunchy? Bring that right hand up. Put your hand into your mouth. Open. Hook your fingers over your bottom teeth and just pull that jaw open. So. And then release. Put that hand back up in the air. Bring the backs of the hands down to the floor. Keep those shoulders pulling into the ground, so make sure they're flat, the ribs are all loose. Drawing in the core, flatten that lower back. Rotate the pelvis to arch. Flatten by rotating the pelvis. Find the neutral position. Drawing in the core, lift that right foot up off the floor. Tap that, take that foot back. Lift that left foot up off the floor. Take that foot back. Lift the right foot up and hold. Lift the left foot up and hold. Take that right leg out straight. Bring it back in. This should feel easier. Take that left leg out straight. Bring it back in. Take both heels down to the floor. and lift. So yes, your tummy muscles have to work, but that's because it's simply the weight of your legs, but it should feel less strain. Take those feet to the floor, bring them back up. Take those legs out straight. So you've got the weight of your legs, bring those legs back in, but you're not dealing with all the tension in the upper body. Take those feet to the floor, slide them all the way out straight. Breathing in, breathing out. Bring those hands up to the sky. But point to your feet and roll yourself all the way up to sitting. Reach your hands down your legs, so let your knees bend up. So try to flatten like you did when you brought your leg up in the sky and brought it over your face. Try and get your tummy on as far onto your thighs as you did then. Good, and then push those knees to the ground, but keeping the body forward. Don't let the body lean backwards. Good, lift yourself up nice and tall. Pop those hands on the floor behind. Lift that chest up. Take that chin up to the sky. And then bring that chin down. Just gently turn the eyes to the right side of the right leg. Feel how much easier the left ear from the left shoulder is. Bring those eyes across to the left side and pull that right ear from the right shoulder. Feel how much easier that is. And back to center. Bring those eyes up to horizontal. Bring those arms all the way on the floor up into the sky. Bring them all the way out wide, dust the floor. Bring them all the way up high, palms together. Push them up high, reaching up tall. Eyes up, big breath in. Big breath out, release those arms, rest them on the legs and roll the shoulders.